No, dude, it's the rules. It's one of you gotta have your seatbelt on.
Okay.
It says in the movie.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rule number 4.
Yeah. Always wear your seatbelt when reviewing one of the movies.
Zombieland.
I was joking before we got in where I was like, watch, it's gonna take a second to get those damn lights on. Like, you know the half of these lights always work, except right before we started doing the video. Then it takes it a minute to like fiddle with the circuits.
Right.
You at Irving
Thanks,
taught me the
Hyundai.
thing on the Irving taught me to like kind of fiddle with the little latch thing on the sunglasses holder. That didn't work, so you had the magic touch and like boop did it. Like, oh, okay. Did like Fonzie powers. I didn't even consider that. Jesus. Good job, new guy. Comment last week. So,
New.
yeah, it was in one of the ones we did last week, where the commenter said something like, "What's with the new guy on here?" Like,
And I was just like,
the only new guy is the person who left that comment. He's the original co-host of the show.
boom.
And the site in general, like, because we did before all the extra shows that we started, like, Radiodrome, when we did...
Oh, yeah, when it was just me and you.
When it was just me and you for like 5 episodes.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah. They still do it. They still do that. But, yeah, we did that for, like, a handful of episodes or something, and then probably got distracted.
Right.
Josh was like, hey, I like the title of your show.
You called me up and you were just like, hey, I gave the podcast to Josh Hadley, and I'm like, oh.
Well, we weren't doing anything with it.
I was like, oh, okay.
No, we can still be on it. We just have to hear Josh yell about every movie that comes out.
I liked Zombieland more than Zombieland 2 because it was closer to 1995.
It's a much older movie. So I can't believe how old the first one is. Like the first one's
10 years.
10 years old. Like I reviewed the first one, but the first doesn't seem like it's been that long. But then I remember I'm like, yeah, I reviewed the first one before we were doing midnight screenings because I was by myself in the bedroom, just sitting on the bed. I think, like in the old apartment. Reviewing it. Really, the show hasn't evolved that much. We just moved out to the car. And I remember liking the first one, honestly. Like, I remember giving a good review. I haven't seen the first one since it came out, but, I mean, that's kind of par for the course for me. I don't tend to rewatch a lot of... I just tend to not have time to rewatch a lot of things that came out in the window of when I started the show and now.
Yeah.
Have you watched the first one since it came out? Because I think we might have seen it together.
I've definitely seen it a long time ago. I thought you were going to ask me if I'd seen it lately, and I was going to be like, not for a while, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely memorable.
Sure.
I love. Can I just say from another production standpoint, like I mentioned Gemini Man yesterday, the cinematography.
Yeah.
What I like about Zombieland is the what do you call it? The text.
Oh, the title cards.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Those are so fun. They do such a good job.
They're funny,
the animation,
well edited in the movie.
Yeah.
There was as I was watching this, since it's been 10 years since I saw the first one, a lot of that stuff was coming back to me.
Yeah.
About the first one.
Yeah.
So the first time they did that, I was like, oh right, okay, yeah, they had that going on in the first one. And from the beginning of it, I did enjoy, like, being back in this universe again. Yeah. Especially, look, there's a lot of zombie stuff out there. Like, it can be easy to get burnt out on zombie movies.
Dude, speaking of that, I'm glad that we saw Columbus reading an issue of The Walking Dead. I was like,
that was funny. Yeah, he's reading The Walking Dead at one point. They referenced Dawn of the Dead at one point. Like, yeah. So, I mean, it's easy. It's easy to have a zombie movie or a zombie comedy also, like, be tired Not that long ago, I was at the Dead Don't Die, which was awful.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen. This is now the second zombie movie to feature Bill Murray that I've seen this year.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get to the Bill Murray thing in a second, but but rest assured, this is far better of the two. Yeah, man, like that was.
I didn't even know Bill Murray was in the other one.
Dead Don't Die. Yeah. If you want the driest, most pretentious zombie movie ever made. Well, wait, you were in one, weren't you? Like, what was that movie you were in where it was a zombie movie?
Oh, God, no. They weren't zombies.
Yeah.
They were pretty much cannibals.
What was this movie called?
22 After.
22 After?
Yeah.
You know what? Let us review it, and I want to go back to this movie real quick. I don't want to get so sidetracked so soon. We'll go back to this, but because I've seen this, you showed it to me.
Yeah.
Man. So, I gotta find this. So, I liked being back in this world again, and I was enjoying that it was taking place 10 years later, where it's showing how a lot of zombies have evolved, and there's different types of them, that they have nicknames for, the Homer, that's the dumb one and accidentally injuring itself all the time, the fast ones, and then these kind of newly evolved ones that they call the T-800s.
T-800s,
I was enjoying that, and even a lot of the gags they were doing with the rules. And that's gags you saw in the first one, but they still keep it pretty fresh. I mean, it helps that it's been 10 years since I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
But they did keep a lot of that stuff fresh in this movie. I was still getting a lot of laughs out of that.
I loved how they kind of broke the fourth wall with the voiceover track. He was assuming that everybody that was watching the movie was in a theater. So he was all like, hey, if you're not in a 4D theater, you won't.
Zombieland smells awful. Yeah. I'll
bet that 4D gimmick kind of reminded you of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
No, that was Spy Kids 4 with the scratch and sniff cards. I guess Mom's bacon smells like cardboard. That's all I'm getting here. No,
I knew it was those two kids. I just couldn't remember in what context.
This is the Robert Rodriguez movie. Yeah. I like that it's the four characters that you saw in the other one: Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. I like that it is this dysfunctional family comedy that happens to be in the world of where zombies have kind of taken over.
Right.
And they're just still on the road. They've been together that long. They bicker, they quarrel in a way that a family would at Thanksgiving or something like that. So their chemistry is really good together, and they do get a lot. They slip back into these characters pretty easily, especially Woody Harrelson.
Oh God, yeah,
he's great in the film.
Yeah,
and it is just kind of about them going from one place to another. And at the beginning of it, there's a whole thing with them living in the White House.
Yeah,
and that had some fun stuff in it.
Totally.
So we were cracking back and forth when because this was a question that I had in the movie where it's showing the zombie kills of the year.
Kills of the year, yeah. And it's from there was one that came from Italy, and I'm just how do they know?
I was wondering that through this movie. I'm how do they know about the Bill Murray thing?
Right.
Random characters just say, you just murdered this person. This is a weird universe. Does social media still exist?
And what's so funny about that setup of the what'd you call that, post-credit or pre-credit?
Oh, that post-credit scene. Yeah.
What would you call it? Post-credit scene. Anyway, the setup for that was, here's some context to that Murraying thing, and they show the scene with Bill Murray, but Columbus isn't involved. And they made it sound like it was Columbus that killed Bill Murray.
The issues I had with the movie, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Because I had a good time with this movie. I liked being back with these characters. They have funny one-liners and everything. I like the situations they're in, where at the end they're in this hippie commune. Yeah. And they have to defend it because they're all pacifists and they melted all the guns and they have to save them from doing fireworks and bringing forth all the T-800 zombies. There's even a good like kind of extension on the joke from Shaun of the Dead where the main group meets like a doppelganger group.
Oh yeah.
There's kind of extension of that a little bit in this
Parallel universe.
Yeah, with Luke Wilson as a Woody Harrelson type, and dude from Silicon Valley as the Jesse Eisenberg type.
Which I think is hilarious, given that Jesse Eisenberg played Mark Zuckerberg in social
network.
Social network. Yeah. Right, and then that guy comes in, Silicon Valley.
I wonder if they asked Michael Cera first to do the doppelganger.
That would be great. That would have been great.
I wonder, with a lot of the plot elements that happen in the movie, like I was sitting there going like, yeah, it's, these people are like this dysfunctional family that are together and it happens to be in a zombie movie. Mm-hmm. But some of the things that they do, I'm like, you're kind of just a dick. Like there's several times in this movie where characters, and they've been together like 10 years, will just leave and steal their car and leave a note
just leave
behind.
a note.
And just like,
sorry, we can't deal anymore.
Yeah, and then
we're checking out.
So yeah, Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone have been like a couple since the first movie.
Yeah,
and a month goes by when she takes off after he proposes to her in the White House. Like a month goes by and he hooks up with Zoe Deutsch, plays this blonde airhead girl they find in the mall.
Yeah.
And
which I love how both Madison and I want to say Harvard, but that's not right. What other school?
I can't remember.
Well, anyway, the hippie guy.
Oh, Berkeley. Sorry.
Yeah, Berkeley.
She takes Abigail Breslin takes off with the hippie guy.
Yeah. I love how with both Berkeley and Madison, every time just their respective scenes where they were introduced, I leaned over to you and I go, shoot him.
Yeah, the hippie guy, because the main thing
they were both very insufferable.
Yeah, they have to travel a lot to try to find Abigail Breslin. That's kind of the overarching story of it, is they have to find Abigail Breslin, but then like the conflict is in that a month later, after Emma Stone leaves, Jesse Eisenberg and Zoe Deutsch like hook up for a night.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone comes back and like, whoa, awkward. And I was kind of sitting there going like, he didn't really do anything wrong.
No.
A month goes by after she dumps him via note and steals the car. Like, yeah, okay, you kind of got to give him this one.
Right. At the same time, though, she wasn't. So that's kind of where it like becomes awkward, and it's just kind of...
The Zoe Deutsch character gets a handful of laughs, and then other times is a little too dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's parts where I'm like, how? I realize that apparently you've been living in a fridge for a long time. Even by that, when she doesn't know how to use binoculars and shit like that, I'm like, how? How did this person live this long? I don't care if it was in a mall. Like, it lived this long in this freaking universe. Like, there's... Yeah, stuff like that, and
I do love how going into this movie, I was concerned about like continuity things as far as like, time for them stopped in 2009.
Yeah.
So I was really like concerned about that. And what I love is there was the nod to Uber where Madison's the one that came up with the idea for Uber.
Yeah. She says like, here's like strangers could pick you up if you're too drunk. They can offer you candy. Yeah, and
if they don't kill you, then you give them 5 points.
Woody Harrelson says like, you need to nut up or shut up or something, and Luke Wilson's like, that's a very 2009 quote. So yeah, it is in this universe where like time stops. So there's really no like when they get to the White House, there's really no like modern political joke or anything like that. The closest is like it's 2009, so you see an Obama picture on the wall. Where a lot of the gags they're doing there are pretty funny. Where he takes the painting of Taft and uses it as wrapping paper for Christmas. The engagement ring is like the Hope Diamond, and
and they used so up here in Chicago, I do a little bit of campaign work.
Yeah.
And during while I do that campaign work, I will sometimes say to the candidates in a very just manner that we need to get them out there kissing hands and shaking babies.
Oh, when they say that.
Yeah. And I did. I'm like,
Yeah, you lean over to you go, I say that all the time.
Right.
But since we're in the theater, I couldn't be like, in what context?
Yeah. I knew I'd have a chance to explain it. Yeah. So I would. I'd be like, hey, you need to get out to this little meeting and, kiss hands, shake babies, that kind of thing.
There's a lot of like things that happen in the movie that are just sort of super convenient. Like I like there's parts where I'm like where characters will get bit and I'll be like, oh, cool. Like I mean, I like that this is a universe where certain characters can die.
Yeah.
But there was a point in the battle at the end in the like hippie area.
The commune.
Yeah, the commune. There was a part where our characters are surrounded by all of these fast zombies that take a long time to kill. And I was sitting there thinking like, wow, like I genuinely don't know how they're going to get out of this situation.
Right.
And the way that they do is super just like convenient writing. Like it all, without spoiling it, like it all hinges on a right thing happening just at the right time.
Yeah. I will say though, the voiceover for that particular moment, kind of teased it, like because remember what he said is like, you made the ultimate sacrifice, and then I was like, oh no,
not that part. I like that part.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I like the part with Woody Harrelson where he's hanging off the thing.
Right.
That part I like. I mean, I'm talking about.
But I'm saying whenever the voiceover says that he made the ultimate sacrifice, I was like, oh no, Woody Harrelson's gonna die, and then he doesn't, and I'm like, oh, well, good, but
I didn't really think something like that was gonna happen because I was like, that'd be
like good, but fuck you, movie.
I was like that. There's certain characters I was like, I mean, yeah, the movie's not afraid, certainly, of killing off certain people in the movie.
Yeah.
But other people would be like, that might be weird for the tone of this movie. But when it got so when this movie ends, I was thinking...
Are we going to spoil it?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoil it.
When it cuts to the credits, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you want to avoid the mid-credit roll scene, go see the movie, come back to this point. So I was thinking like, wow, I'm actually like, they referenced Murraying early in the movie where Rosario Dawson is like, it's what happened to the actor Bill Murray. Some person shot him thinking he was a zombie. And I was also thinking like, how does anyone know this? Like other than our main characters. But they do that a lot in this movie.
Which again, I thought it was Columbus. I thought they were, Columbus was all like, oh yeah, about that. And then at the credits, he's like, okay, here's the situation with
so right before that, when it cuts to that, like the movie ends. The movie ends at a pretty good point, I thought, and then it goes to the ending credits, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, well, they referenced the Bill Murray thing. I'm really glad they actually showed restraint in not forcing him into this movie because that scene was really popular in the first one, and that part was funny in the first movie. But I was like, you know what, I really admire the restraint in not, and boy, did I think that too soon. Because midway through the credits, there is this DVD extra of a scene that's in there that admittedly is way better than anything that was in The Dead Don't Die. But I was still like, this is so goddamn fan servicey right now. Jesus. Like, you don't
Especially
need
for
this
Chicago.
right here.
Especially for Chicago. Chicago will eat that up just,
I've been to the Caddyshack restaurant.
Oh,
yeah, in over in
Rosemont?
Rosemont.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good place.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, it is. Yeah,
I have yet to go there.
it's pretty good.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out.
But I love themed restaurants. like
Right.
that, so
Hey, guys.
hey, how you doing? Dude, we did this. I think it was when Rob and I reviewed the Joker. We did it from the parking garage, and someone just showed up like right at the door. Like, not that they were getting into their car.
Oh, okay.
They still scared the hell out of me because I'm reviewing a movie in a parking garage. So yeah, it does that scene at the end, and yeah, I was kind of sitting there going, "You didn't have to do this."
Right.
Like, this could have been just a viral marketing video that you could have put on the movie's website or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what was your take from that? Were you all right?
Well,
with
so
it?
I mean, it was kind of a letdown. Like
That
I said,
scene?
yeah, because like I said, they're like, oh, okay, here's that scene, and I'm like, ooh, so we get to see what happens, right?
Yeah.
And then, it didn't really. It turned out to be nothing.
No, it was
It turned out to
just
be
there because,
nothing.
hey, that was funny in the first movie.
Yeah.
Right? Here's how it led to that point. He referenced Garfield in the first one, so now he's here promoting Garfield 3.
Yeah.
No. Again, I mean, if you compare it to Dead Don't Die, the scene is genius.
Yeah. Here's the thing: when it first started getting, when the plot started thickening in that little clip right there,
Yeah.
I thought Al Roker was patient zero.
Oh.
And then they walk out into the lobby and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, no, the
When you see Al Roker in a movie, either zombies are going to happen or a Sharknado. It's going to be one of the two. If you're seeing it in a theater, it's probably not the Sharknado. Unless you're at a Riff Track screening. But, like I said, like, issues with the movie I have aside, like, I did have a good time at the movie.
oh yeah, totally.
It was a nice return to these characters and this world and everything.
Absolutely.
And it's rare for a comedy sequel to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And not
This
that
definitely holds up compared to the first one.
yeah, it's not a great movie by any means, but like it's a good companion piece with the first one, I thought. Like, so yeah, it's worth when I left it, I was like, yeah, that'd be nice, like matinee screening or something like that.
Yeah, double
Especially if
feature.
you like the first one.
Double feature?
Yeah, I'm sure there are some things. You saw a theater, right?
Yeah, the one in Logan Square is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just on the northeastern border of Logan Square. But yeah.
And now we're going to talk about the one you were in. Like, so was
Jesus.
it a zombie movie or a virus movie?
So it was a post of
22 after?
Yeah. By the way, before you go typing it up in Google, I purposely told them, do not link me in the IMDb. The guy that set up...
It's going to be on there now.
Oh! Internet, please. Please do not.
That ain't going to work.
No.
Now it's going to be on there twice.
Damn it. Internet, please.
Uh-huh.
I have gone so many years without it being on my IMDb.
You kind of look like the Messiah in it. The character he played on the song.
Yeah. And that was actually kind of the fun part was the makeup lady. I mean, she gave me a fake beard. And it wasn't just like, I mean, she did like that was probably the only redeeming quality of that movie. The makeup lady had a lot of talent.
Yeah.
A lot of talent. So this was directed by a former coworker of mine from Channel 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, I didn't even know it was his movie until I arrived on set and I see him there.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
just like, oh, fuck this guy. So, but the guy that got me set up with the gig was like, hey, it's $20 and you just need to like play an extra, and I'm like, all right, fine. So
Yeah, you're getting led off to like you're like outside. You're getting led off into a car or something. Or are they shooting you? Or
I appear in the first like 2 minutes as some guy who was shot in the face, and I'm just, like that. And then I show up like a little more than halfway into the movie. From a distance,
Yeah.
I'm leading off my victim,
Yeah.
who I'm about to eat.
Oh, right.
I play a cannibal.
So
What it is like it's a. And here's the thing about the writing too, is that there's all this talk about the event, the extinction event, but no specifics. It's very vague, so it's post-apocalyptic. Nobody can actually tell the audience what happened or what it is, but apparently it was so devastating.
The gimmick of this movie, when he pulled it up, there's no action. The gimmick is that it is a series of fairly long vignettes,
right,
of just these individuals. Right. Looking at the camera and explaining what happened. Like, so it is really the ultimate tell and don't show movie.
Basically, this is what happens whenever a news reporter directs a movie. Because, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because what that is a VOSOT. We call that VOSOTs. Voiceover like B-roll, basically.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was like this voiceover over this B-roll, and then an interview.
Yeah.
Or in this movie's case, it was like a monologue.
Yeah, it'd be a monologue, like looking at the camera, and I was sitting there kind of, you pulled this up and were showing to me, I was sitting there going like, this is kind of going on a while, and then you look at me and you go, this is the whole movie. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
someone's trying to do World War Z.
And wait, it gets worse, because then I told you to skip ahead to the 45-minute mark, and what did you see?
Was it more talking, or
it was more talking.
Yeah.
But specifically, it was a white dude in brown face.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy.
How is the movie so uninteresting that I'm like, I forgot about the black guys?
So here's the thing. This guy was supposed to be Indian, which is hilarious given that it was all shot in the Springfield area, and this guy couldn't go down to UIS or something like that and find an Indian student.
You, get in the van.
No, not like that. Yo, Rajesh. No, not like that.
I've just got so many jokes going through my head right now. Shit.
But
I can't say anything that's going in my head right now.
We'll save them for after the...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But no, I mean, and actually that was that moment that I walked out of the premiere. It was that bad. It was that bad. It was a movie that I was in, that I was at the premiere for, and I was just like, yeah, nope, I'm out. I'm done. How
many people were at the premiere?
Oh, God. Mostly just the cast and crew.
Is this like the Springfield equivalent of like the Manos, the Hands of Fate premiere or something? Like,
yeah.
What is this?
Your premieres were way more successful than this one.
It's sweet.
No, I'm serious. I'm not. No, for real. The Paranoia's premiere. I remember that being a huge hit. You know, we actually,
a lot of people were at that.
Yeah. And this one was not it, dude. It was at the Capital City Bar and Grill, and
yes, they could get drunk.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, hell yeah.
It wasn't an open bar. That sucked.
We're working on a budget here. Even the premiere party's on a very, very tight budget. That's a kick in the balls. They're like, oh, we're premiering this movie, but you can't drink.
Right.
Whoa. That's not in my contract. 22 after?
Yeah. Oh man, you should review it as The Snob.
Dude, I remember you saying that to me, like, when you showed me this, and I remember going, I don't know what I would work with on this. Like, they're just talking to the camera. It'd be a challenge, like.
Oh, I'm sure you could riff it. I'm sure you could, like, find something.
I could. Might not be a very long episode. How long was that movie? It's like 90 minutes?
Yeah!
Dude.
Yeah! It was actually a 90 minutes of just B-roll, monologue, yeah.
I did do an episode on this one movie called Santa's Christmas Elf named Calvin.
Yeah.
Which was a movie that was all in still shots. And, but at least in those still shots, more things were happening than looking and explaining things to the camera. That was a horrible surprise because, I found this movie and I'm like looking at the pictures on the thing and I'm like assuming like idiot that when I watch it, it'll move. No, so I'm like, well, I did the still shot movie, so maybe.
I will say this: if morbid curiosity compels.
It will.
It is.
There will be people seeking this movie.
It is on Vimeo. It is on Vimeo.
Yeah.
And I just please, internet, don't put it on my IMDb. Just don't do it. Just no. Come on. I've went this long without it on my IMDb.
Is the movie itself on IMDb?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the confirmation that you know that guy at 45 minutes is a white dude in brown face.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a single Indian actor on that cast.
Dude, it wouldn't be the most embarrassing thing on your IMDb. It's there was something called The Human Spider 2.
Dude, that's amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. What up, Spoonie?
The doctor's not even in this one?
That was amazing. You're all the middle piece.
Well, that was the first one.
Oh.
The second one was the one you were in, where it's in black and white, and you play the guy who's a super fan of the human spider, so you kidnap.
That was the one we shot in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We filled a turkey baster full of blood.
I remember that.
Don't worry, I'll clean it up later.
Oh, yeah. Which did you?
Probably not. I barely cleaned out anything in the car when we would film it.
I love it.
I just let that shit in there. So the basement will flood. That'll take care of it. All right. Well, what's next week? Next week is Thursday. Doug and I are going to be at the Reliant. It's Kevin Sorbo movie coming out.
Good luck with that one.
Can't wait, man. I so can't wait.
After what you told me about Kevin Sorbo, man,
this movie's gonna be awesome.
That's so disappointing, man. Just to find out that he's such a gun nut and everything.
Yes, but then we won't have movies like The Reliant, where he's gonna save his family because guns are outlawed and shit.
Ooh.
This movie's gonna be epic. I can't wait. I'm a masochist for movies like that, but Black and Blue is next week, and Countdown, the one I told you about. Or
yeah.
Don't worry, dude, we got Countdown, the one with the clock that says you got 2 days to live. I was surprised that was next weekend, because I was like, that just looks like a January movie.
This is what sucks about the show, is that one week I'm like, I got these cool movies, and then the next week I got crap, and then I got cool movies, and then
sometimes it's the same night. Sometimes it is you'll have a cool movie and then be like, oh shit, I gotta go see El Coyote. All right, everyone. Thanks a bunch for watching. Yeah.
Before we go, I do want to say thank you for the shout out to my YouTube page.
Oh yeah, plug
because
your,
in that week I gained 80
nice
subscribers. Thank you guys. Netflix and chill will return.
Yeah, and I'll embed it over on the site too.
Okay.
Whenever you do, send me a link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Totally. I'll make a section on there.
Okay, cool.
What's the name of your channel?
Just search for Jerrid Foils. I don't think I actually have a URL for it.
If you just search for Jerrid Foils, it comes up. I did it the other day.
Yep.
Make sure you spell it.
Right.
Jerryd. Jerrid.
Jared.
That's weird.
Nothing here. I don't know.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next week.